Fermanagh, a place with beauty and serenity, but every place has a dark side. Fermanagh was one of the strongholds during the plantations of Ulster, with families such as the Coes, Hazards and Thompsons. During the 18th century, there was an upsurge in Protestant landowners in Fermanagh, not all of which were the nicest of people, as we will find out later. Landowning continued into the blight of the Irish famine, in which the Irish people suffered and died in thousands. In the mountains of Bow in County Fermanagh lies a house full of history and secrets. Gardenhill House belonged to the Hazards, a landed family from Waterford. The house that they lived in for many years is surrounded in history, mystery, and even haunted happenings. Gardenhill is an unknown, spine-chilling place. After chatting with locals about this spooky spot, I set about uncovering the haunted history of this fearsome place that no local dares to cross. I spoke to local historian Margaret Gallagher about the history of Gardenhill and the secrets that lie beyond the gates of the Bow estate.
They arrived at Gardenhill House, which was a very low set but very good house at that time. They came from Waterford, and they were the first sheriffs in Fermanagh and the first treasurers. They had a treasury built at the back of the house, and that's where all the money for County Fermanagh was counted. It's been roofless quite a while at that part of the building. The treasurer was feared by some because no one knew much about him. But when the famine was around, he was, everyone was delighted to have him in the area, because when hunger was rampant during the famine, he left some turnips out at the gate, what we call the Burn House gate.
However, it wasn't all happiness in the Hazard home. In the book The Fermanagh Story, author Peter Livingstone tells of how Hazard made a bottomless coffin in the famine times so that it could be used over and over again. You really can't help but feel this was a cruel act.
3 entrances to Gardenhill House, and the one down the Gardenhill Braes is called the Burn House Gate, and he left turnips out there, and people could take a turnip, people who had no food, and he had a notice there, take 1 or 2, but if you take more, I'll take you. And but yet he did leave the turnips out for poorer people. He gave employment, obviously. It was a very large domain, good land, as it is yet, very, very good land. And they used apparently to host a ball once a year, and people would come from Dublin to be entertained, to be wined and dined. There was perceived to be a ghost round the Hazard homestead, and the priest in Belcoo at that time, Father Leydon, came in 1941 to Belcoo, and he was the priest appointed by the diocese to expel the devil, or exorcise ghosts, or exorcise the devil, whichever way you want to say it. And he got rid of, there was a ghost in that building, he got rid of it. It was known then as the haunted house for quite a while, but to us it was just Gardenhill House. One of the Hazards was assassinated, and there were several arrests. Someone was arrested because he'd been sacked from working on the farm, but I don't think there was anyone ever found guilty.
What happened to Gardenhill after all the drama, and what legacy will it leave for the future?
It just was something very, very different. It was a house that had mystery. Its size, while it wasn't a high house, it was a long, low house. And there was lovely Bangor blue slates on it, and nice fields out in front of it, and just was something very special to us who came from ordinary houses.